Next is government measures. So government measures means measures to for employment generation. So what measures were taken by government to generate employment? Which is most important measure? The most important is poverty alleviation. And employment generation programs. Poverty alleviation and employment generation programs. The most important is this. It directly for creating jobs. And you know, these programs are of two types: poverty alleviation and employment generation programs. So one is we can say is wage employment. Wage employment. So a lot of such programs are going on. So we'll discuss later in detail, but I'm giving you a brief idea about this. Wage employment programs means so write down what is wage employment programs. Wage employment programs. This is wage, W-A-G. You have written veg, V-E-G. Veg, vegetable nahi hai. Wage, W-A-G. Wage employment program. So mention that under such programs or under these programs, government initiates labor intensive public works. Government initiates labor intensive public works like construction of rural roads, toilets, minor irrigation, etc. Okay, government start actually construction of road or toilet in village or minor irrigation or even plantation of trees. So any type of actually work is started. So what is benefit of this? There are two actually benefits. One is employment to what kind of labor? Skilled, unskilled? Unskilled labor. When the wage employment to unskilled labor. One thing. Second, development of infrastructure. So like road would be constructed, and on the other hand, people will get job. Or irrigation is also infrastructure like that. To mention this thing, they seek to develop infrastructure. They seek to develop infrastructure and create jobs for unskilled labor. Seek to develop infrastructure and create jobs for unskilled labor. So any example of this? Example, Manrega. So MGNREGA is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, or we can say scheme under that act. The scheme, so usually called Manrega, but this is MNREGS, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. Under this, these works are being done, like roads are constructed, plantation of trees, and these minor irrigation and other like poultry shelter, etc. are constructed so that people may get job. Achha, here focused on what? Infrastructure development or job creation? Job creation. There may be other schemes like Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. So roads are constructed under that scheme also, and under Manrega also. What is the main difference? So can we say this is also employment generation scheme? Yes, Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana is also a means employment generation scheme of this type. Achha, but what is the main difference? The difference of focus here. The focus of in Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana is on creation of permanent asset, road pe focus hai. In Manrega, focus on employment. So employment, at least 60% expenditure should be on wages. Material cost should be at the most 40%. But in that, there is no such restriction. Focus on permanent assets. Sometime in Manrega, ke assets are not permanent. Like road may be constructed, but in the next rainy season, it may wash away. So this is the problem. So, and that is sometimes deliberately done. Because the thing is that if you means like a person may show I have spent, let's suppose, 10 lakh rupees in my village. in that job, which is actually, and they usually do a lot of pradhan, they plan that just before rainy season, and they may actually spend hardly 1 lakh rupee. And after rainy season, because they have to just wait for rain, and after an inspection would be there after, when they say, no, we have invested this much thing, this much worker, we put a lot of hard work, everything wasted. so in order to actually this pocket the money, if they will do any work which can be visible for long term, then they will not be able to manipulate much. So in case of like this minor like jobs which can be actually spoiled by rain, etc., the lot of money they show officially, we have invested this many workers actually dig this pond or this thing, and rainy season has washed away this thing. So because of corruption, we'll discuss later in detail. I think what the point. So some schemes are this. Earlier, the first scheme of this kind we'll discuss in 1978. It was food for work scheme. Like minor this workers was initiated in 1978, and workers were given food grains at the end of the day. Okay, one is wage employment scheme. The most important is Manrega. Even we can put here Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, but usually we consider under rural infrastructure development program, Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. It is better to say it is a infrastructure development program. Got the point? Like even Indra Awas Yojana is also a kind of this. So in that case also, Indra Awas Yojana ki houses are constructed, shelter, and on the other hand job. But here major expenditure should be on wages, so that is why it is Indra Awas Yojana is also a kind of this wage employment program. Acha, one is this. What is another type of such program? Example of this is Manrega. Another is which program? Other is self-employment program. Self-employment program. So you mentioned that under these programs, training is provided to unemployed people by the government agencies, /NGOs, and finance is provided to enable them, enable them to engage in any viable economic activity. Enable them to engage in any viable economic activity. Enable them to engage in any viable economic activity. Any viable economic activity means to set up any business, minor business, like maybe actually a micro enterprise. So here what I've said, here first of all training is provided by whom? By government or NGOs. Lot of various governments developmental programs, training programs are going on actually. Like in every district there is district industry centers, so they regularly organize this training program. And apart from that, a lot of NGOs actually arrange training. Training is given to individuals or groups also. Like groups are more common, which is called self-help group. So maybe 10-20 people's group is made, and then training is provided to groups. So groups are more common rather than individuals. So in case of group, the training cost will be lesser, and even success of business increases in case of groups. So usually in SSGs. Plus after training, they provide finance. Usually bank provide finance. Sometimes government may give subsidy also, and concessional interest is charged on this loan. The objective is that they should do their own business. For example, a group of maybe 10-20 people, and in most of the program, women are preferred. Let's suppose a 20 women's group is provided training in swing, and after actually swing or maybe any other skill, maybe knitting or anything. So after that, giving training in swing, they will give also technical assistance. Okay, from where you can buy clothes, what is the market for ready-made garment, or exporters you can sell. And after that, bank will give them finance, so that they will just rent a place and will buy sewing machines, and they may start actually buy clothes and start sewing and selling. So they may start their own business, or any kind of business. Maybe a person may establish a dairy, or maybe a minor, actually any very small business. So this is actually self-employment here, because they are getting actually self-employment. They are establishing their own business. Rather, they may give job to other people as well in that business. So this is self-employment programs. I think what the point? Any example of this program? So first training is given and then finance is given so that people can do their own business. This is self.
So training they are giving the finance also.
Yes.
Also concerned on the
Which thing?
So training, giving the financial assistance for anything.
No, in some schemes are only training program. So in training program, only training is given. Either you can do your job on your own or you may do in other business. So there are some training programs only. I think what's the point? Like training programs like Nai Manzil, Nai Roshni, Himayat, like Himayat in Kashmir. Lot of programs are going on actually. Ustad, etc. So those are training is separate. Here in this, training is integrated with finance. Okay, once you will complete training after certificate, you will be provided finance. So there is a minor difference in just training and self-employment program. So it is a comprehensive package rather. So any example? No, national, that is actually for skill development. But some of the, actually, whenever you do training, certainly you will get certificate. So it will enable you to get job also. Like if you will apply for a job, you have to show certificate only. So here focus is on not on job. Focus on actually on enabling you can do business. So training is given for two purposes. One is a pure training program. Other is a training along with this, under this. So for example, no, Stand Up India is only a finance program. In that bank will give finance only, just finance. Okay, there may be some finance program like Stand Up India. It may provide some technical assistance, but as such not training. And in some are only training program. Like for example, I told you Himayat, Nai Roshni, Nai Manzil, and Ustad, and this. So some and some training programs are linked with this. For example, like this Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushal Yojana. That is related with employment generation. Under that program, it is provided along with this. Achha, which is the major program going on in India? The first program actually which was launched in India was IRDP, Integrated Rural Development Program. Or you may write down name of this. This is the most important program. Actually, before Manrega, this was the largest program in India. Integrated Rural Development Program. Integrated Rural Development Program, IRDP. So it was launched in which year? 1978. So we will discuss later also. Integrated Rural Development Program. So you may write down name here itself. So in this program, like integrated means what? Training and integrated with this finance. Integrated Rural Development Program. And this program, why it was most important? Because it was all India program. Means it was operated in all districts of the country, or rural districts in the country. Integrated rural. So this was in rural areas only. Integrated Rural Development Program. So although launched by Janata Party government in 78, but then later in 1980s, Congress government extended to entire country. Then government changed its name. In 1999, its name was changed to Swarn Jayanti Gram Swarozgar Yojana. Swarn Jayanti. You may write down names also. Swarn Jayanti Gram Swarozgar. Swa means self-employment. Swarozgar Yojana. Swarn Jayanti Gram Swarozgar Yojana. Swarn Jayanti Gram Swarozgar Yojana. So just some minor changes were made. Another, then this program was renamed as which National, in 2010, National Rural Livelihood Mission. National Rural Livelihood Mission. NRLM, Ajivika. National Rural Livelihood Mission, Ajivika. Ajivika means livelihood. National Rural Livelihood Mission. National Rural Livelihood Mission. And currently its name is government. The new government has changed further its name to Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana. DAY. DAY. Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana. Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana. DAY. But still, it is also called Ajivika. Usually we call it Ajivika and NRLM. Antyodaya Yojana. Antyodaya. ANTADOYA. Antyodaya Yojana. Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana. DAY. Okay, so all names you should remember. IRDP, then this Swan Jayanti, Swarozgar Yojana, and now these. But both names are used actually interchangeably even now. So what is the program here? Training is given by, as I told you, government agencies and NGOs, and then finally finance is given so that people can do their own business. Achha, so this is the second largest program actually right now in India. After Manrega, this is the most important program. And before Manrega, it was the single largest program. So most of the programs are confined to specific regions, but this program was there in entire country. That is why. Even one more program is there, like other example of this is, another example is the PM, Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program, PMEGP. Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program, PM Employment Generation Program. Actually, earlier there was Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana, PMRY. You might have heard of that. That is very famous. That was a very famous program. PMRY. Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana was renamed as PMEGP. So earlier it was Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana. Achha, here also same thing. Training is given and finance is given. Achha, it is there in both the areas, rural, urban, both. Ye rural mein hai, kyunki name rural, Gramin, and this is rural, urban both. Achha, here loan up to 25 lakh is given. So here it is related with employment generation as well as micro enterprises. Even it is operated by MSMEs, Ministry of MSMEs. There is a separate ministry for MSMEs. So PMEGP. So these are actually two major self-employment programs in India. Okay, we will revisit this like Manrega and these programs. So I just give you a broad outline here because there are a lot of developmental programs. So separately we'll discuss these employment generation program. So I think got the point. So I repeat, for employment generation, the most important measure is poverty alleviation and employment generation programs. And the wage employment programs we have discussed like Manrega, Indra Awas Yojana, even Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, such programs, and self-employment program like this we have right now, this National Rural Livelihood Mission Ajivika or Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana. Both are actually, these names are same. So you should remember all names. Ek hi naam hai, name change hua. Apart from that, another scheme which was Pradhan Mantri Rozgar Yojana, now its name is PMEGP, Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program. Rural, urban area both actually. It is in rural area only. So these two are important programs in this category. So we'll discuss later actually some other programs. Okay, so the most important actually measure to create job, directly to create job, is employment generation programs, which we have discussed, poverty alleviation and employment generation program. Both are interrelated. Why we say poverty alleviation? Because if people will get job, they will get money, they will not be hungry, they will not be poor, they will be able to buy basic amenities, so they will not be poor. So this, acha. So we were talking about measures to create employment. What are other measures? Acha, there may be some mention other programs also, like for example, some social security program, even skill development program. Like skill development will help in getting jobs. Apart from that, like in PDS, etc. So no, PDS we cannot say for employment generation, but skill development we can say. Okay. So apart from that, you can rather mention skill development programs. So one is this poverty alleviation employment generation programs. For PDS, we can say for poverty alleviation, because poverty is providing basic amenities to people. So skill development programs. Other things are, to create job, what is required? Like I told you in what should be done to convert job into growth into inclusive growth. Like where jobs will be created in which sector, which is most in labor intensive sector. MSMEs, so promotion, support to MSMEs or promotion to MSMEs. So government, from the first industrial policy till now, government has been supporting MSMEs. Just like Stand Up India, Startup India. is in this direction, and lot of measures were initiated. We'll discuss various types of support is there, like Mudra Bank was established, Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana. These are the initiatives to promote MSMEs. Apart from that, actually, you know, jobs will be created from where? Who will create jobs? If you will get job, where would you get job? कहाँ मिलेगी job? या तो गवर्नमेंट में या प्राइवेट सेक्टर का मतलब, प्राइवेट का मतलब कंपनी तो होगी, तो बिजनेस विल क्रिएट जॉब. तो प्रोमोटिंग एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप, promoting entrepreneurship, तो or entrepreneurship development we can say. So government is actually, what government has done to promote entrepreneurship, like measures like Atal Innovation Mission, AIM. So to promote entrepreneurship, actually government launched, Niti Aayog has launched Atal Innovation Mission. So we will discuss later in this. So in this program, business incubators are set up. Like in business incubators, a kind of support center. Like it will give various support information to business, some type of consultancy to business, so that you can start a business. So it will actually encourage the means people to establish new business. Actually, it will give support measures and information and technical consultancy. So this is Atal Innovation Mission. One apart from that, one component of Atal Innovation Mission is SETU. Self-employment and talent utilization. So AIM, and within AIM is SETU, SETU. SETU is self-employment and talent utilization. Self-employment and talent utilization. So for means self-employment and talent utilization. So it is just a component of AIM. Atal Innovation Mission, in this entrepreneurship to be developed. Apart from that, like even Startup India is related with means innovations and entrepreneurship. Startup India, so innovative ventures are provided support in that. Stand Up India is for finance. Startup India includes finance and technical support, mainly to this technology ventures. So even yes, entrepreneurship में वो भी कर सकते हैं. वैसे तो स्टार्टअप भी, बिकॉज न्यू फॉर्म के लिए पैसे दे रहे हैं, मतलब स्टैंड अप में भी. आई थिंक इट इज क्लियर. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, व्हाट शुड बी डन टू क्रिएट जॉब्स? So these are the most important measures. Sometimes some informants say that government should accelerate growth also. So growth, because when more growth means more jobs will be created. So even we can say that also, but the main focus for creation of job is on these policies. So we will discuss in detail in industrial sector. So some of these things actually we'll discuss in industry. So these are the broad measures taken by government to create jobs. Achha, labor reforms also is a part to enable, encourage companies to this improving. Achha, the most one initiative is actually Make in India. So Make in India also we mentioned. The most important actually initiative is Make in India. Separate initiative, Make in India. Make in India actually is the most important comprehensive initiative of government. So what, how Make in India, what is Make in India in simple words? It promotes manufacturing sector, to enhance manufacturing sector competence, and under this what is to be done? Make in India, to how to promote manufacturing sector, how to improve competitiveness of manufacturing sector, improving ease of doing business, and labor reforms, etc. is a part of Make in India. And one very important component is how to promote industrial sector, which is very important. Who will invest? Foreign investment is also important. It seeks to promote domestic investment as well as foreign, especially FDI. So because when foreigners will establish a new company, then production employment will increase in the country. So Make in India is the most important initiative of government. We will discuss actually. So objective is to promote foreign investment and overall investment and production, because it will overcome which problem? Scarcity of capital. So government is actually improving ease of doing business. Labor reform is a part of ease of doing business.